Gimmick yan ng minority. Hindi ba nila naiisip na baka si Martin Romualdez ang tuta ko? Kami, Mr. President, hindi mo po kami mapatay sa sama ng loob dahil hindi na po masama ang loob namin dahil tanggap na namin na kami ang minority.
I'm not supposed to answer you here in the rostrum, but I cannot help but do that because you took the floor and parang sinisita mo yung Senate President, which is very unparliamentary.
Therefore, the decision to bring Bryce Hernandez here to the Senate is sustained, Mr. President.
I just would like to bring to the attention of the Senate President. I came across with the news. Now, when the Senate President was asked by a certain Christian Esguerra regarding the minority taking up the question about the custody of Bryce Hernandez. Ito po ang sagot ng ating Senate President, which I find it very, very, very sad because being the Senate President, we hope that you are going to take care of not only the majority, because you are not the majority leader, you are the Senate President, and we hope that the majority and the minority will be taken care of by the leadership of the Senate. And if I quote your answer, Mr. President, gimmick yan ng minority. Hindi ba nila naiisip na baka si Martin Romualdez ang tuta ko? Makabintang sila porque pinagbigyan ko yung TRICOM, tuta na ako. May ginawa ba akong illegal? Yung request ng House of Representatives, illegal? Hindi. Ang gusto ninyo, awayin ko yung House of Representatives on day one. Mamatay sila sa sama ng loob. So, malungkot lang ko ito, dalawang punto, Mr. President. Unang-una, yung mamatay sila sa sama ng loob. Kami, Mr. President, hindi mo po kami mapatay sa sama ng loob dahil hindi na po masama ang loob namin dahil tanggap na namin na kami ang minority. Ang kinasama lang ng loob namin is bakit kailangan pang patayin kami sa sama ng loob? Hindi na po masama ang loob namin. Tanggap na namin na kami minority. At pangalawang punto, Mr. President, gimmick lang ng minority yan. Ang Senado po, hindi po ito noon-time TV show na puro gimmick ang ating tinitikap dito. Kami po ay nag-raise dito ng legitimate issues which requires legitimate attention. So, Mr. President, ako po ay nalulungkot, which brings me to my parliamentary inquiry, Mr. President, na yung si Bryce Hernandez, yung kanyang custody was transferred, physical custody, I'm talking about physical custody, was transferred from the Pasay City Police Station to the Senate Sergeant at Arms room. Through yung from correction, from Camp Crame to Pasay, it was done through plenary action. Now, lately we heard that he was again transferred from Pasay to the Senate without plenary action. This is my parliamentary inquiry. Kung is a parliamentary action can be subverted by an action which is not a parliamentary action? Yun lang tanong ko. Matter of procedure lang, Mr. President. Dahil kung ganun, kailangan klaruhin natin yung ating rules. Thank you, Mr. President.
Before I recognize the Majority Leader to place on record the recommitment of Mr. Hernandez, when I said mamatay sila na sama ng loob, we were addressing the trolls because it was the trolls who were saying something to that effect. Na misunderstood nila completely. No? I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to answer you here in the rostrum, but I cannot help but do that because you took the floor and parang sinisita mo yung Senate President, which is very unparliamentary. But nevertheless, I will answer you. Ano? Like, for example, yung sinasabi nila na sumunod daw ako kay Martin Romualdez. Just because I mentioned that Martin Romualdez called me, does not mean that ako'y sumunod sa kanya. The request was coming from the House of Representatives. And the request was to retain Hernandez in the Congress. At doon ako hindi pumayag. Is that being tuta? So you cannot help but also think na sasama ang loob ko pag binibintangan ako ng salita. Hindi po ba? So ayun, anyway, mabuti na yung masagot natin yan. At sinasabi ko sa kanila, yung mga trolls, yung mga sinasagot namin. Ngayon, to answer the issue of Mr. Hernandez, the majority leader may read the recommendation or the recommitment of Mr. Hernandez to the Senate custody.
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. President, with the permission of the body, we made a study on the action that transpired the last 2 days on the recommitment of Bryce Hernandez dito po sa atin sa Senado. To put on record, this is how it transpired. Last week, it was requested by, of course, the House of Representatives that we detain him in the House of Representatives. Hindi po kayo pumayag. Ang sabi nyo, kung ganun po ang gusto ni Hernandez kasi ayaw nyo pong bumalik dito, ang sinabi mo, hindi pwede. Dapat neutral and safe area doon po sa PNP Custodial Center. So nagkaroon po tayo ng debate dito dahil it was our distinguished colleague, Senator Marcoleta, who raised the issue that why was he put in the PNP Custodial area and not to the Senate detention facility, which was seconded by many of the members of the minority. A debate ensued. After the debate, I asked for a minute suspension and we all suggested na sa Pasay City Jail na lang po dahil malapit po sa Senado. Pero let's not forget the fact that originally, the position of the minority was to bring him back to the Pasay City detention. It was only I who made the recommendation during the break that we keep it in Pasay City Jail because I approached the minority and you all agreed to my recommendation. And then after we started the session once more, the motion was done by the minority, graciously done by the minority, to move him instead to the Pasay City Jail. But upon consultation of the chairperson of the Blue Ribbon Committee, Senator Lacson, the Senate President granted the request as the chairperson of the Blue Ribbon Committee requested that he be brought back to the Senate, which was really, yun talaga ang posisyon ng gusto ng ating minority at the time, para wala ng gulo, pumayag po kayo na dito na lang sa Senado at may request na rin po, for the record, may sulat po si Bryce Hernandez, ang mga abogado niya, na ibalik siya dito at yan po ay confirmed sa kanilang hearing this morning for his writ of amparo before the Pasay City Regional Trial Court. Sinabi po ay doon na lang po ako sa Senado ilagay. So, the Senate President acted on the request na gusto ibalik na lang po dito. Tayo naman po ang tayo naman po ay may kustodiya niya sa kanya. At as a matter of fact, while watching the press con of our distinguished colleague, Senator Marcoleta, nung tinanong sa kanya, sinagot po ni Senator Marcoleta ay tama naman po yan. Dapat talaga dito siya sa Senado. Kasi tayo po ang may kustodiya. Sinabi po ng ating mahal na senador yun. So we also pursuant to Article 6, Section 6 of the rules of the Blue Ribbon Committee, which states, a witness cited in contempt may be ordered to be detained in such a place, be designated by the committee or concurrence of the Senate President by either detention order or commitment order. And under that commitment order, wherein the witness cited contempt refuses to produce documents required of him and her, or to be sworn or to testify, or maliciously evades or misleads the committee, or otherwise purge himself or herself of that contempt, may be ordered to be committed to any jail or prison facility upon recommendation of the committee through the chairman or the concurrence of the Senate President. So in this case po, the chairman had requested that he be brought back to the Senate for detention. It's not a violation of any rule, Mr. Chairman. Mr. President, thank you.
Yes, the minority leader is recognized.
Sir President, allow me some, magandang hapon po, and allow me to clarify some, for our own peace of heart and mind, and marami kasing nakikinig din na lawyers, legislators, para lang klaro yung records, no? There are a few things I rely on. I rely on rules. The Bible is full of rules, And I believe kung ano itanim, yan ang anihin. The Senate, may rules yan. So, minority, majority, sigurado tayong masusunod yung rule. And of course, sometimes we misquote each other or we have misunderstanding, but we find a way na mag-usap-usap. Minsan umiinit ang ulo. I thank Senator Bato for bringing it up. I thank the Senate President for clarifying that he was referring to those commenting outside because wala na po ni isa sa minority ang nagsabing tuta. I think that was comments outside the Senate. And it is fair game for whoever is alluded to. Both ways po, di ba? Pagka may sinabi tungkol sa minority, pero hindi naman kayo nagsabi or hindi dito sa floor or sa media sinabi ng ibang kakampi or supporter, fair game yan. Part ng, another rule is the Constitution. So first, let me clarify yung pagiging unparliamentary. You cannot argue with the presiding officer. That is what, thank you very much. That is what is unparliamentary. You cannot argue with the presiding officer. Klaro yon, we all agree on that. But you can ask a question sa Senate President. Then the Senate President has an option to answer it himself or to pass it to the majority leader or whoever is in charge. But in this case, last week, because it was a decision by Senator Soto, our Senate President, hindi lang ng majority, our Senate President, you chose to answer it from there, which is your privilege. So we didn't mean to argue with you. But the procedure would be to either ask someone else to explain it or for the Senate President to go down at dito po mag-argue so that we do not argue with the Senate President. So if there was any form of disrespect, Mr. Senate President, we did not mean that. Pasensya na rin po kayo. But in the same manner, we have to argue our point of view and rules kasi dito ang daming congressman na nabanggit and wala tayong sinasanto dito. So kung may senador na babanggit, so be it. We have to get to the bottom of all of this. We need a national reset. Dapat lumabas lahat ng katotohanan. Nung sinabi kong we all have to repent, totoo yun. We are all sinners, but that doesn't mean na yung most guilty, yung mga guilty, lahat ng involved dito ay hindi dapat ma-expose at dapat parusahan. Ang problema nga, may gumugulo. At kung ikaw ang mastermind, guguluhin mo to. So ang problema namin, Mr. President, is that, and I think the Senator Marcoleta, the former chairman, will bring it up, no? Wala pa tayo dun sa state witness eh. Nandun pa lang tayo sa protection of the witness, sa mga diskayas. Pero lumipat po tayo dito sa Assistant DE. Nagulat po kami kasi nga, hindi binalik sa Senado when he was still chairman. And Majority Leader, just to be concise, I'll read the rule, ha? Sabi dito sa rules sa page 6 of 7, section 6, subparagraph C, a witness cited in contempt may be ordered detained in such a place that may be designated by the committee alone. May word po na alone. Or with the concurrence of the Senate President. And in our discussion, the new chairman admitted that he was not consulted. It was the Senate President. But I myself, I said, siguro pag nasa ganun sitwasyon, kailangan umakto kagad. I mean, the record, Mr. President, will bear me out, di ba? Na sinabi ko naman, di ba, na ayaw nyo magkaroon ng constitutional crisis, nagsalita yung House, nagsalita yung Senate. Ang problema nga po, hindi naman po simpleng request to ng Speaker of the House eh. Yung mismong witness, siya nasusunod eh. Sinabi niya dun sa House eh, wag nyo na ako ibalik sa Senate, hindi siya binalik. So yes, initially, the issue was not where. The issue is not where to detain him. The issue is who has authority and ano ang rules natin. Ang rules natin yung committee. Ang committee hindi lang yung chairman. But at the last minute, napag-usapan natin dito at hawak ko po ang ating minutes or yung galing ba to sa journal? Transcript, no? Meron pong TSN po to. Nag-motion eh. Ang plenary po, mas mataas sa committee. So, paano po nangyari na si Assistant DE, sa simpleng request niya, Hindi yun naman nag-meeting yung committee. Ako as minority leader, automatic, hindi naman ako nakonsulta. So ang problema namin sa minority is not really where he is detained. Ang problema namin, can we rely on the rules? Because ang tamang procedure doon, kung hindi natin pinagbotohan to sa floor, is that either the chairman decides and we all give our concurrence sa chairman, or he informs us, may letter, anong tingin nyo? Then of course, masusunod naman yung majority, minority naman kami. Pero hindi na naman ganun nangyari. Tapos maririnig namin, mababasa na lang namin sa dyaryo or sa internet or maririnig namin ngayon sa majority leader na yun ang naging desisyon. Hindi pwedeng magdesisyon ang plenary tapos mababaliktad na lang ito. So the issue is not just Bryce. The issue is also the rules of the Senate. Ganun din po I don't know who wants to answer this. Ano ba ang rule natin pagdating sa CCTV? So, I put this on record. I will put it on record. Hanga ako kay Senator Lacson mag-imbestiga. And I support him to go all the way. But hindi ba kung meron tayong sinususpetsa dito, you make a request for the CCTV. And then, you have a conclusion. Kasi kung hindi, lahat na lang tayo titingin sa CCTV. Tapos sasabihin natin dito, may nakita akong ganito, pumunta sa media. May nakita ko, pumunta sa ganito. Di ba? So, yes, the government is under attack and that's legitimate. The Gen Zs are rising up. That's legitimate. They should. But we should not attack ourselves. Kung meron guilty sa atin dito, i-expose natin. Tapos sa Ethics Committee. Huwag natin pigilan ng witness. Kung gusto ituro ni Bryce, kung siyam kami sa minor, ituro niya. Pero sundin natin yung rules, no? So before I let go of the floor, I think Senator Marcoleta on the same topic wants to say some things. But whether he will say it or not, Mr. President, no? I don't know the pleasure of the body sa plenary. At mas marami naman kayo eh. So kung gusto nyo dito sa Senate, di okay. And I think Senator Estrada also found out that both in the PNP custodial and in the Pasay City, walang taga-usaha. Tama ba yun? Sa custodial, hindi totoo na it was under the custody of USAA kasi walang taga-USAA ang nandun. So we do not know what transpired during that time. Kasi pagka under contempt, hindi punishment yun eh. Binibigyan mo ng oras yung witness pag isip-isipan kung magsasabi ng totoo hindi. But if we allow people to come in and talk to him, hindi mo na alam kung sino nag-guide sa witness na yon. Ang pwede lang yung abogado niya, maybe his family. Diba? So I think this is legitimate without pointing fingers to anyone. I don't know what the Discayas will say. I don't know what Bryce Hernandez will say. Let them say everything they want to say. As Senator Ping naman said, may resibo. Pero katulad kay Joel Villanueva, peke yung resibo, ghost yung resibo eh. Hindi pala screenshot yun eh. Pinicturan pala ang cellphone. Ang screenshot, cellphone, sinave mo yung screen. Eto, cellphone, kinunan. O sabihin mo na, sige, let's not on technicalities. Tapos tignan mo yung laman. Yung laman, member daw siya ng CA, hindi siya member ng CA doon. At tapos na. Kay Senator Jinggoy, naka-Amerikana. Minsan lang nga lang mag-Amerikana yung tao eh. Nung birthday niya. Pero ang picture sinabi, birthday niya, hindi naman. So yes, may resibo. Pero may peking resibo eh. But we will address that at the right forum, Mr. President. But again, we have to follow the rules. Sabi ng Supreme Court sa case ni Vice President Sara, sa tamang paraan, sa tamang panahon. Senator Marcoleta, will you... Same issue eh. Same issue ba? On. Yeah, same issue. So that isang sagutan na lang, maybe I can...
Mr. President,
Majority Leader.
yes, we'd like to recognize Senator Marcoleta, please, Mr. President.
Senator Marcoleta is recognized.
Mr. President, I rise on a question of privilege. There are recent unsettling statements.
Yeah, Mr. President, just to, before, my apologies to Senator Marcoleta, because Senator Erwin has been quietly, diligently waiting for his turn to give his privileged speech.
Well, if Senator
If Senator
Marcoleta-
Erwin is willing to give way, we have no problem, Mr. President.
All right, go ahead. You may proceed.
And besides, Mr. Majority Leader, I'm rising on a question of privilege, which is the higher and preferred way of speaking before this body. Mr. President, I am armed by the explanation of the minority leader that we're not questioning the prerogative of the presiding officer, but we can question the Senate President on issues that are quite legitimate, such as the matters I would like to raise today. Unsettling because, Mr. President, on September 9, in your interview with ANC Head Start with Ms. Karen Davila about the Blue Ribbon Chairman being a lawyer, your answer is, there is no such thing as a rule na dapat abogado yun. Abogado ka nga, di ka naman magaling mag-imbestiga, di ba? So useless. Mr. President, I'd like to put on record, there was no inclination from this representation na meron man lang kaming sinabi na ang chairman ay dapat, chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee ay dapat abogado. Wala po kaming kahit na shadow ng inclination, any reference to that matter, wala po kaming sinasabi. Ngayon po, yung sinasabing abogado ka nga, di ka naman magaling mag-imbestiga, hindi ko po alam kung sino po yung tinutukoy ninyo, sapagkat narinig din po kayo sa inyong mga interviews. Sinabi niyo po, Mr. President, na maraming dissatisfied sa direction na tinahak po ng aking investigasyon nung ako pa po ay chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee. Hindi ko po alam kung sino po yung dissatisfied sa mga members natin. Wala naman pong perpekto, Mr. President, pero sa akin pong pananaw ay ginawa ko po yung aking makakaya. Kung meron man po akong pagkukulang, ay humihingi po ako ng tawad sa aking mga kasamahan sa Blue Ribbon Committee. Ngunit hindi ko po sinadya na ilihis sa direksyon ng tamang pag-iimbestiga ang ating Blue Ribbon Committee. Noong September 10 po, 2025, ang programa pong Sa Totoo Lang, sa 1PH, nandun po yata si Job Francisco, Chicky Berhel, Cheryl Cosim. Ang sabi po ninyo, with reference to the affidavit of the Discayas, may suspetsa kami na inedit yung affidavit. Mr. President, ito po ay indirect affront to the integrity of this representation. Yung lamang pong pagsuspetsahan niyo na inedit yung affidavit, paano kayo nagsuspetsa? Ano po ang ginamit ninyong batayan at pagsususpetsahan ninyo na maring inedit yung affidavit? Ako po bilang chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee, nagpakaingat-ingat po ako nung sila po ay sa pamamagitan ng kanilang mga taga-lapit, ay minabuti ko pong hingin sa kanila. Sumulat sila sa akin para malaman ko kung talagang meron silang kagustuhang magpahayag ng kanilang saloobin tungkol sa dinidinig natin sa Blue Ribbon. At gusto kong masatisfy ang sarili ko, Mr. President, kung totoo nga at kung bakit nila gagawin. So nakareceive po ako ng sulat sa kanila, handwritten. At nung malaman ko po na talagang galing sa kanila ang pagpapahayag na voluntaryo, sinabi ko, sige, gawin ninyo. At kinakailangan, bago nyo ibigay sa akin, notaryado na yun. At yun pong affidavit na yun, o subscribe sworn statement, Mr. President, ay naibigay sa akin, araw na po, maggagabi na po ng araw ng linggo, in a sealed envelope. At kung sinasabi po ninyo na ang SOP ay dapat na ibigay sa mga miyembro ng ating Blue Ribbon, wala na pong pagkakataon sapagkat sa umaga po alas 9 ay magsisimula na po ang Blue Ribbon Committee. Noong September 14 po sa Twitter ninyo, meron po kayong binanggit at ito po ang nakasulat. Very devious. Wala pang hearing ang Blue Ribbon ni Ping Lacson. Gusto ng ilang magpalitan agad. What are they so afraid of? Bakit minamadali WPP agad ito? Ano bang nangyari? Malalaman natin sa Blue Ribbon kay Senator Lacson, meron siyang investigasyon ginagawa tungkol dyan. Ano po ba yung pinanggalingan ng mga salitang yun, Mr. President? Sino po yung natatakot? Sino po yung nagmamadali? Kung ang inyo pong tinutukoy ay yung aking sulat para i-rekomenda na mag-apply sa Witness Protection Program ang mag-asawang Diskaya, yun po inaayon sa batas, Mr. President. Ito po ay inaayon sa Section 4, Republic Act 6981. Ito po yung Witness Protection Act. Ang sinasabi po doon, in case of legislative investigations in aid of legislation, a witness with his express consent may be admitted into the program upon the recommendation of the Legislative Committee where his testimony is needed when in its judgment there is pressing necessity therefore, provided that such recommendation is approved by the President of the Senate. Ang committee po ay nagpasya, Mr. President, kasi hiniling po nung Diskaya sa kanilang sworn statement na meron tangka sa kanilang buhay, sa kanilang seguridad, ang kanilang pamilya at kanilang mga anak. Kung kami po ay nagmamadali, yun po kasi ang sinasabi ng batas. Para makapag-apply po siya na sa Witness Protection Program, ang chairman po ng committee sa pagsang-ayon ng kanyang mga miyembro, kailangan po kami gumawa ng sulat sa Secretary of Justice. Ayun nga po, ipinrepair namin kaagad. Hindi nga lamang po napirmahan ng pumalit na Senate President sapagkat nagpaliwanag siya, nalaman pala niya na meron palang presscon ang ating Department of Justice Secretary na doon sinabi niya, hindi raw siya magbibigay ng witness protection sapagkat kinakailangan munang ibalik ng mga Diskaya anumang pera ang kanilang nakuha sapagkat hindi kanila yon. Sa makatid, ang policy daw ng Department of Justice ay ibalik muna yung pera bago aksyonan ang kanyang aplikasyon sa Witness Protection Program. Mr. President, ako po'y nalulungkot maski sa aking press con kanina ay sinabi ko kung bakit ganun ang sinabi ng Secretary of Justice. Wala po sa tuntunin yun eh. Kung babasahin lamang po niya ang Section 3 at Section 10 ng Republic Act 6981, wala pong binabanggit doon na restitution, yung pagsusuli. Nag-uumpisa lang po sa pagsusuri, sa pag-iimbestiga ang komite. Meron na po bang halaga na dapat isuli? Na-determine na po ba yun? Meron na po bang ruling na kung ano kung sino at gaano ang isosoli ng kung sino man ang may kasalanan? Meron na po bang ganun? Wala po eh. Prospective lang pong mag-a-apply eh. Nasa sections 3 and 10 ang mga requisites kung ano-ano po yun. Mga 10 requisites po yun. Yung restitution, wala po ron eh. Kaya po ako'y nalulungkot kung bakit po binanggit yun ng Secretary of Justice. Samantalang, nung pong linggo, bago magkaroon ng hearing no September 8, nagkausap pa kami at binigyan pa niya ako ng kasiguruhan na sige, ibigay mo na sa kanila ang pangangako na mabibigyan natin sila ng immunity sapagkat tayo naman ay magkapartner sa kagustuhan natin, pati yung Witness Protection Program ay ating maipasa kagad. So yung pagbibigay po niya sa akin ng garantiya, kasama na po yung kanyang USEC. Yun ang nagbigay sa akin ng lakas na loob. Kaya ako'y sumulat kagad. Hindi ko alam na babaligtarin ako ng Department of Justice. Ngayon po, Mr. President, yun po ang ginamit ninyong dahilan kung bakit hindi nyo pinirmahan. sana man lang po ay napakarami naman inyong mga abogado sa inyong opisina rin. Binasa nyo sana yung batas. Kung yung restitution po ay isa sa requisite para ang isang tao ay makapag-apply man lang. Yun po kasi yung prinsipyo ng batas eh. Bago siya gumawa ng isang marahas na kapasyahan, alam niyang mag-aalanganin ang buhay niya. Magsasabi siya, nung inaakala niyang maaring makapaglagay sa panganib ng kanyang buhay, kailangan nga bigyan natin din siya ng protection. Yun po yung batas eh. Hindi ko nga po alam kung bakit sasabihin ninyo, bakit may pagmamadali? Dito pa nga po sa sinabi ninyo noong September 13, Mr. President. Ang reading ko, sabi po nyo, camouflage lang yun eh. To put me and the leadership of the Senate under the gun. Kunwari, merong naiinis sila. Kung bakit ko pinirmahan, kung bakit hindi ko pinirmang sulat sa DOJ. Baka may commitment sila to someone, to some people. Is there a commitment somewhere? Baka merong nakiusap na pwede silang ipasok sa Witness Protection Program. Lahat po ng ganitong mga pagsususpetsa is a direct affront to the integrity of this representation, Mr. President. As a member of the Senate, bakit po kinakailangan magkaroon tayo ng ganitong pahayag sa publiko na walang basihan ni katitingman? Ito po yung nakakalungkot. Noong September 10, sa bilyonaryo interview with Ms. Corina Sanchez, ang tanong po ni Ms. Corina, Bryce Hernandez natatakot daw po siyang bumalik sa Senado. May basihan po ba ang kanyang pangamba? Yun po yung tanong niya sa ating Senate President. Ang sagot po ng ating Senate President, sabi niya sa House, makatwid parang kinonfirm niya. Ang nangyari, yung mga congressmen nag-request na kung pwede daw, huwag ibalik sa Senate dahil meron daw siyang binabanggit na mga senador. So ang ginawa naman ng mga congressmen, nakiusap kay Speaker, si Speaker tinanong sa akin, dahil ang sinasabi raw kung pwede mo nang i-retain. Sabi ko, hindi pwede dahil sa legal custody namin yan eh. Dahil merong contempt dyan sa Senado. Nakikiusap sila kung pwede na wag sa Senate mismo, hindi naman i-retain sa House. Ang umandar sa akin, siyempre, yung tinatawag na parliamentary courtesy. Kasi meron silang nakakontempt doon, yung si Mendoza, gusto rin naman namin kunin yun. Alam ko later, iimbitehan namin yun. So ang nangyayari po, Mr. President, kaya ba dinidiscredit, kaya ba pinagsususpetsahan yung Diskaya, sworn affidavit, sapagkat may binanggit siyang 17 congressmen? Yun po ba ang dahilan? Bakit naman po nung siya, yung Hernandez ay nag-testify sa House, bakit kagyat nating pinakinggan naman ang kanyang katwiran? Dahil may binanggit naman siya, di umano, na may kasalanan na dalawang kasama natin dito. At saka siya nagsabi na, huwag niyo na akong ibalik doon, sapagkat manganganib ang buhay ko. Ang maliwanag po dito, pagka ang nagsasalita si Bryce Hernandez, parang merong kagad pagpapatibay. Parang pinaniwalaan na natin na maaaring manganganib ang buhay niya sapagkat meron siyang binanggit na dalawang kasama natin. Paano yung buhay ng Diskaya na inimbitahan nila doon? Na binigyan na, bigla na lang nating, wala man lang tayong aksyon. Samantalang 17 congressmen ang binanggit niya. Hindi niyo ba naisip, manganganib din ang buhay niya? Pero walang nagsalita dito sa atin. Yun po yung aking nakikita. Huwag po tayo mag-aaway-away. Ang ating pong hinahanap ay katotohanan lang. Pero kung ganito po ang gagawin natin, manggagaling po sa ating Senate President, magpapalipad po kayo ng salita na kami po ay wala namang kinalaman. Lalong-lalo na po ang representasyong ito. Kahit minsan wala po akong sinabihan na mas magaling po ako. Wala po akong sinabing ganun. Ang sinabi ko lang, ang pagkakaiba po ng investigasyon ng Senate Blue Ribbon Committee is in aid of legislation. Kung ang direksyon ko pong yun ay mali para sa inyo, nasa sa inyo na po yun. Pero yun po ang nalalaman ko. Sa 3 pagdinig lamang po, nasabi ko na po kanina sa press con, sa 3 pagdinig pa lamang po namin, nakita ko na po ang pangangailangan ng halos 14 na legislative measures na dapat natin kagad na ipasa para sa ganun, maayos natin, ma-address natin kagad ang malalang problema ng corruption sa ating bansa. Maraming salamat po sa pagkakataon, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Marcoleta. Majority Leader?
Yes, Senator Kiko Pangilinan would like to be recognized, Mr. President.
An objection? Hearing none. Senator Kiko Pangilinan is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is not an interpellation, just a manifestation. Mr. President, bago pa man naglabas ng affidavit ang mag-asawang Diskaya, nag-comment na po ako dahil narinig ko doon mismo sa hearing nung tinanong siya nung ilang mga senador. Binanggit niya ang mga pangalan at sinabi niyang mula 2022. Hindi bago ng 2022. Wala pa ho silang affidavit noon, tinanong sa kanila sa hearing. Kaya noon pa man, nag-comment na ako. At ako mismo sa comment ko, sabi ko, mukhang Photoshop tsaka edited. Hindi yung testimonya, hindi yung affidavit kasi wala pang affidavit noon eh. Testimonya pa lang nung una o pangalawang hearing. Kaya, in fairness to the Senate President, kung sinabi niyang edited, I was not referring to, this representation was not referring to the affidavit or in any way referring to the chairperson of the Blue Ribbon Committee. I was referring directly to the testimony given during the hearing, public hearing, of the Diskayas, that they said they started flood control projects in 2016 and then went on to continue until 2025. And they too said na itong mga binanggit nilang pangalan ay sa 2022 lang. So kahit na wala pa ho yung affidavit, doon pa lamang sa kanilang mga testimonya during the public hearing, nakita ko na mukhang hindi kapani-paniwala. At least this is my view as a lawyer na mukhang kung gagawin silang state witness, kinakailangan buo, hindi edited. And when I refer to edited, sila bilang mga testigo, ine-edit nila. Hindi yung chairman ng komite, hindi yung sa I was not referring to the affidavit, I was referring to their testimony when the affidavit had not yet been actually submitted. Just for the record, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Pangilinan.
In addition, Mr. President, in addition, point number 2, sorry. I was a member and continue to be a member of the committee, the Blue Ribbon Committee. Unfortunately, as was pointed out by the former chairperson, it is the committee that decides as to whether or not we will agree to have a witness taken as in custody to become a witness under the Witness Protection Program. Unfortunately, as a member of the committee, I was not able to read the letter of the chairman then addressed to the Department of Justice. So in that case, Mr. President, sabi siguro kanina, if I heard correctly, nagmamadali dahil nga yung seguridad ng ating mga magiging witness dapat ay paramount. Pero sa akin, mas paramount siguro na may process na ang mga committee members makita man lang yung sulat bago ito'y ma-repair sa Department of Justice. Wala akong nakita, wala po akong nabasa. Nakita ko na lang sa dyaryo, Mr. President.
Mr. President, kailangan lang masagot yung manifestation ni Senator Kiko.
For a while,
Importante lang,
Senator Marcoleta,
Mr. President.
you have not been recognized yet. Majority Leader.
Yes, Mr. President, we'd like to recognize. He may be allowed, if with the permission of the Senate President, let him allow him to answer, or at least reply to the manifestation of Senator Kiko Pangilinan, and then after we'll recognize our Senate President for his interpellation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Wait for a while. Senator Marcoleta is recognized.
Thank you. Maalala po natin, Mr. President, na nung pangalawang hearing po ng Blue Ribbon Committee, doon po namin finload yung idea na kung nais po ng mga resource persons, particularly po yung mga 15 contractors na naimbita sa ating Blue Ribbon, kung gusto ninyo na magsalita kayo, come into the open, pinload po namin sa second hearing yon. Makakatulong po kayo sa Estado, lalong-lalo na po kung magbabanggit kayo ng mga taong alam ninyo na mas malaki kaysa sa inyo kung bakit nangyari ang matinding korupsyon sa ating bansa. So pinupload po natin yung idea na maaari silang mag-apply under the Witness Protection Program. Kaya po yung una nilang pananalita, nung sila ay wala pa po at hindi pa nakumbinsi siguro na lalabas, iba po yung kanilang testimony sigurado. Ngunit nung malaman nila na may pagkaseryoso naman po yung offer namin, na kung makakatulong po kayo, magsabi na kayo ng totoo, baka po, sabi namin, yung criminal prosecution, madidispense na yon, pinaka most likely siguro, pagdating ng araw, civil liability na lang ang haharapin ninyo. Meron po akong paniwala na pinag-isipan nilang mabuti yon, kaya lumabas yung mag-asawa na yon. Nung lumabas sila, natural, dahil sa magsasabi na sila ng totoo, lalabas po talaga kung anong gusto nilang sabihin. Maring taliwas po doon sa narinig na nauna na pahayag ni Senator Kiko. Sa mga tweet, hindi po pwedeng pagbasihan yung nauna nilang pagsagot sapagkat hindi pa sila nakapagpasya na kanilang sasabihin na kung ano yung nalalaman nilang totoo sa kanilang kalooban. Yun po yung totoong nangyari ron. Kaya hindi po ako naniniwala nang dahil lamang doon sa maaring hindi pareho nung una yung kanyang testimony at doon niya na sinabi yung buong katotohanan, ay maaring edited o maaring may pagbabago o hindi pwedeng pagbasihan. Sa aking palagay po, ang pinag-uusapan natin, ano man yung kanilang sinumite, wala pong karapatan ang sino man sa atin na husgahan yun eh. Yun po yung kanilang nalalaman eh. Pagdating po ng araw, ang korte na po ang gagamit doon. Kung sakasakaling matapos po yung investigasyon na ito, nagkaroon po ng committee report at sinumiti po at ang rekomendasyon po ay ipagsakda lahat ang mga tao may kinalaman dito. Yun pong mga ganong klaseng dokumento ay pupunta rin sa korte. And in the final analysis, only the court can determine yung veracity o yung kawalang katwiran kung meron man ng mga naunang pahayag. Yun po yung gusto naming mapansin, Mr. President. Salamat po.
Thank you, Senator Marcoleta. The Senate President is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. Well, I decided to go down from the rostrum so that I can either answer or debate with any or with any interpellations from our colleagues. No? But let me just try to explain some of the points that were raised that, to me, and that is my opinion, inaccurate yung mga intindi or inaccurate yung perception in these interviews that the media has been conducting with me. Ang totoo nga yan, dami ko pa nga iniiwasan na interview eh. Kukunti pa nga yun eh. Pero whenever I am asked, I come out with my opinion. You don't like my opinion, but you have to respect it. In much the same way as I respect your opinion, whatever it is. No, but when it comes to the issue of legal, there are rules to follow. So let me start with what the minority leader said as far as the Blue Ribbon Committee is concerned and the order. Malinaw sa rules natin eh. A witness cited in contempt may be ordered by detained in such a place as may be designated by the committee alone or, andun yung or eh, or with the concurrence of the Senate President by either one detention order. So it's the Senate President has has the power to do that. Ngayon, nung binibigay sa akin binigay sa akin yung sulat para i-recommend yung witness protection program ng mga Discayas, ang feeling ko incomplete eh. Ang usapan at narinig ko ito kay Secretary of Justice, kailangan tell all, hindi tell half. Di ba? Ang mga binabanggit, 2022 to 2025 eh. Sila number one contractor 2016 to 2022 eh. Ba't wala doon ang kwento? Di ba? So, you cannot blame me if I do not want to immediately do that. No? And then I know for a fact, as I said in the media, I know that there is a possibility that we will change the leadership the following day. All right. Now, let me continue with some of the opinions that were aired. Well, of course, yung nabanggit kanina ni Senator De La Rosa, pasensya na, baka nabigla ako at nagamit ko yung salitang gimmick, ano? Pero it could had been a wrong word that I should not have used, no? Pwede kasing opinion yun, sapagkat yung public ang madalas kong marinig na sinagsasabi nun eh. Ano? Now, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing illegal or out of the rules that we have done. My opinion, as aired, kung hindi nyo nagustuhan, pagpasensya nyo ako. Kung hindi nyo nagustuhan yung mga sinabi ko, na opinion ko. Pero I never mentioned names. When I said, baka na-edit, tama yung sinabi ni Senator Pangilinan. Iba yung thinking eh. Bakit iisipin nyo kagad na pinapa-edit ko yung affidavit? Hindi ba? Hindi eh. So, and when I say those things, you should not feel alluded to. Wala naman akong binanggit na pangalan eh. Di ba? And then yung tinatanong, binanggit yung tungkol sa the Blue Ribbon being a lawyer, does not have anything to do with Senator Marcoleta. It was a question by the public. It was a question even by Secretary Claire Castro or Attorney Claire Castro. The question was, di ba kailangan abogado yun? So that was asked of me. And I said, no. Nothing in the rules says so. Wala naman talaga eh. As a matter of fact, we elected Sani Alvarez as Blue Ribbon Chairman for 2 years. And he's not a lawyer. Binagdebatihan na namin nila Neptali Gonzales yan, saka nila Ernie Maceda yan, matagal na. Ano? No. He's never a lawyer. Sani Alvarez was not a lawyer. Oh, we even debated about it. No, I am very sure, 100%. Oh. Anyway, so again, no, wala akong binabanggit na gano'n. You should not feel alluded to when I say na among kasi, at tinatanong nila, hindi naman daw abogado Senator Lacson. Magaling na investigador eh. Di ba? Talo niya ng karaniwang abogado. Hindi ko sinabi, si Senator Marcoleta, abogado na yun o sino pang abogado. I never mentioned any name. I was saying, napakadaming abogado sa Pilipinas, libo-libo. So a lawyer who was not well-versed in investigation, mas gusto ko na yung investigador. That was my point. Ano ba? Why will you feel alluded to, Mr. President, if I did not mention your name? Di ba? Now, again, as far as the rules are concerned, the Senate President has the power to order his transfer, especially in this case, now I asked the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee after they sent a letter, and it was done in court. It was done in the RTC 112 this morning. That was where the letter was transmitted to Attorney Valentina of the Senate Legal, who was representing the Senate in the hearing of the writ of amparo. Yun ang istorya nun. So the request must go back to the Senate. Ay sabi ko maganda, if that is your request, because that is precisely what the members of the minority wanted. Hindi ba? So no question. O ba't may question ngayon? Nalilipat natin, binalik natin sa Senate custody. And then also, to be fair to the USAHA, every day, they monitor wherever that person is. Kahit na nung dinala natin yung si Colonel something sa Muntinlupa, mayroon tayong sa Pasay City Jail, si Balad ba yun? You don't need to have an OSAA there the whole day, 24 hours. It's not necessary. The important thing is it's under the custody of a legal custody. Yun ang importante ron. So hindi kailangan nakabantay OSAA doon. Now, if you want to change the rules, then you propose some amendment to the rules na gusto niyo OSAA nakabantay kahit saan natin ilagay. Alright? Now, maraming nabanggit kaya isa-isay natin to. Pasensya na kayo. Ang Witness Protection Program, ang pagkakaalam ko, magkakaroon ng immunity from criminal prosecution. So, kung natatakot sila sa kanilang security, billion-billion ang pera nila Ang dami nila pwedeng bayaran security guard Kahit 1,000 security guard kaya nila Bakit kailangan ang gobyerno? Ay galit na ang mga tao dahil hindi nga natin malaman kung ilan yan, kung nangyari nga yan, kung sila nga yan, hindi po ba? Kaya we were just trying to be prudent. Konting konting hinay. Huwag yung sasabihin natin. Kaya sabi ko, ba't tayo nagmamadali? I'm not pertaining to any senator. Bakit, sana do not feel alluded to if I don't mention your name. Di ba? And then, state witness, there is no other direct evidence available for proper prosecution So, it is not applicable to the Discayas. At saka hindi rin pwede sapagkat ang pananaw ng karamihan, ang pananaw ng taong bayan, sila most guilty. Ang pwede sa Witness Protection Program, yun, not the most guilty. Ayun ang sinasabi ng batas. Anyway, as I said, the Senate President has the power to order the transfer. And if I have used a word that does not conform to your palate, then pagpasensyahan nyo. Pag ganun, pagkat karamihan ng binanggit ko, opinion ko. Kung ako ini-interview ng media, I always, as far as I'm concerned, tell the truth. Pag ang media kausap mo taong bayan Ganun yun. Kaya iniiwasan ko na hindi ako magsabi ng totoo. Kung opinion ko hiningi, binibigay ko opinion ko, hindi ko tinatago. So if you don't like my opinion, I'm sorry, Mr. President. But that's how it is. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. President.
What is the pleasure of the Minority Leader?
Yeah, Mr. President, because I mentioned some of that, may I be allowed to interject? And then, of course, it is the pleasure of the Senate President if he wants to answer again.
The Minority Leader is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Unang-una, Mr. President, sa rule, verbal lehis. Kapag ka very clear, plain interpretation, clear po yun. You do not interpret. Ang sinabi po sa Rule 6, a witness in contempt may be ordered detained in such a place may be designated by the committee alone. Alone. Ibig sabihin po, yung committee lang. Ano yung with? Kasama. With concurrence of the Senate President. Hindi nakalagay or the Senate President. So you ask all the lawyers here, they will tell you, ang ibig sabihin nito, pwedeng kumuha ng concurrence or pwedeng hindi. Yun yung or. Hindi po to committee or the Senate President. That's why if you go to the last paragraph, the order may be lifted by the chairman with the concurrence of the Senate President. The Senate President cannot lift ang nakalagay doon with the concurrence. Hindi rin pwedeng yung committee. So na-violate po rules natin because it was not the committee alone. As I said, personally, I don't take it against the Senate President nung unang araw na pag-upo niya. Kasi unang-una po, kakapalit lang ng Senate President. Pangalawa, tumawag yung speaker, nagkaroon ng debate. Having said that, it is very clear in the rules and in the Constitution, meron Supreme Court cases yan, that the plenary is supreme. Even the Senate President said, di ba, primus inter pares, he's just the first among equals. Equal tayo lahat. But of course, he represents the Senate. So when the plenary decided to put him in Pasay City Jail, ang makakalift po niyan, hindi po yung committee, hindi po yung Senate President, it's the plenary. So we violated our rules. That's why we stood up to correct. Okay, let me go now to the Witness Protection Program. Let me first mention, I love the humility of the Senate President in the sense na sinabi niyang opinion niya yon, and of course the Constitution guarantees him his opinion. But let us remember, Senator Tito Sotto before Monday gave the opinion of a senator. But after Monday, he's giving the opinion of the Senate President. There's a thin line between the opinion of the Senate President for the Senate and the opinion of Senator Tito Sotto. Both are valid. He always studies. He always knows what he's talking about. But magkaiba po yun eh. Magkaiba yung dinidebate ko siya sa opinion niya at yung opinion ng Senate President bilang Pangulo ng Senado. So for example po, Mr. President, and let me address then Senator Kiko, although in a sense it's none of my business because he was manifesting that in the Blue Ribbon Committee. Iba po ang Witness Protection Program, Section 3, Admission in the Program. Iba po yung Section 10, State Witness. Iba po yung Section 17, Discharge of a State Witness. Yung pong sinasabing he does not appear to be the most guilty, yan po ay tatanggapin natin pag state witness na wala po tayo doon. Nandun pa lang tayo sa Section 3 protection. So let me make that clear ha. Kasi po ang nasabi ng Senate President, paano yun yung perception ng tao, most guilty sila. First of all, I don't agree. Kaya nga nagrarally, alam ng tao may mastermind sa likod nila. Di ba? Napakagaling naman ng Diskaya na pati BICAM, pati budget, pati everything, sila ba nagpapatakbo ng gobyernong Pilipinas? Di ba? They probably could be one of the most guilty na may kasama sila, pero it is very much possible na may mastermind behind them. At hindi lang po sila ang may ghost. So kung sila ang mastermind, then ibig sabihin, for example, ano pa? Wow, Sims, etc. Ibig sabihin nun, kasama din sila. Pero kung ginagawa din ng Sims yun, ginagawa din ng Wawaw, maaring individual racket yun, maaring meron pong mastermind. Maaring nasa DPWH yung mastermind. Maaring nandito sa Senado, maaring nasa Kongreso, maaring napakataas ng posisyon. Hindi ko po alam. But assuming for the sake of argument, perception ng tao. Ang perception po is not reality. Trabaho natin to find reality para mabago yung perception. So papakawalan po natin ang possible witness kasi tingin ng tao siya ang most guilty. So, halimbawa po kay Napoles, if there was someone most guilty, wag na natin habulin kasi tingin ng tao siya most guilty. Dapat hinabol natin. No? Ngayon, siya mukhang most guilty, siya yung nakakulong. What's my point, Mr. President? Bakit nag-react si Senator Marcoleta? If I may, Senator, I cannot speak for you, but you're my good friend. Mr. Senate President, siya lang naman ang mamadali kaya siya tinamaan. Pero tama na magdali siya. Bakit buhay Pag sinabi ng isang witness that his life is in danger, whether we agree with that witness or not, we have to protect their lives. Kahit payag tayo o hindi. Kahit tingin natin nagsisinungaling o hindi. Bakit po? Okay, number one, wala pong magnanakaw na hindi sinungaling. Kaya nga ang kapatid ng magnanakaw ay sinungaling. Bakit po? Ghost project. Pinirmahan mo na may project So nagsinungaling ka na may project kasi wala Di ba? Ninakaw mo, hindi sa'yo yun. Pinalabas mo sa'yo, nagsinungaling ka na. So magkapatid po yun. Hindi nga magkapatid, it's the same person. So pagka nahuli, hindi ka agad aamin yan. Magsisinungaling muna yan. Hindi ako yan. There is a process and a time, and tama po si Senate President, tama po the esteemed Senator Kiko, dumaan sa proseso. Ang problema natin, ayaw natin sa proseso. Protection pa lang, sinasabi nila, papatayin sila. So pagka yan, binigyan mo ng protection, kasunod na doon, sandali lang, ano ba alam mo? So question, paano yan baka magsinungaling? Hindi po. Bakit? Sabi po sa Section B ng Section 3, Section B, his testimony can be substantially corroborated on material points. So again, quoting Senator Lacson, may resibo. But quoting myself, hindi peke na resibo, hindi ghost receipts. So ibig sabihin po, pagkatapos mo bigyan ng proteksyon, papupuntahin mo ngayon sa DOJ. Doon mo na pakakantahin. Doon mo na i-assess. Bakit importante to? Kasi pag nakita ng SIMS, nakita ng Wawaw na may kumakanta na, mag-uunahan na yan sa DOJ kung sino ang kakanta. Parang karaoke yan. Pag hindi pa naka-on at wala pang may hawak ng mic, walang gustong kumanta. Pag kinuha na ang mic at kinanta na yung My Way, agawan na sa mic yon. Habang walang kumakanta kung sino ang mastermind dito, wala, liligawin po tayo. Tayo, ngayon, I feel for the Senate President. If part of him feels we're wasting time, may I admit, Mr. Senate President, dear colleagues, part of me feels that we might be wasting time. Bakit? Instead of using this to find the mastermind. Senator Lacson, I appreciate what you've been doing. Having said that, let's go back to the rules. Pag binigyan mo ng protection ng mga diskaya at hindi sila magsabi ng totoo, that can be corroborated in material points. I-discharge mo sila, bahala sila sa buhay nila. Pero may mga techniques yan. Sa ibang bansa, yung kanilang Attorney General, DOJ, sasabihin yan, paano yan, kumakanta na? O kaya sasabihin sa diskaya, papakawalan ka namin, walang protection, pero ipagkakalat namin, sinabi mo na sa amin, ayaw mo lang pirmahin kung sino ang mastermind. So, there are different techniques that are legal to ferret out the truth. Pero hindi naman pwede pong, sabi nga ni Senator Escudero pag binanggit ang congressman, hindi credible. Pag binanggit ang senador, credible. Pag binanggit 2022, papunta ngayong credible, hindi binanggit. I myself think dapat banggitin na 2016. Ba't banggitin nyo rin 2010 to 2016? Wala naman nagsabing graft-free ang DPWH noong 2010 to 2016 Sa bayan namin, contractor, congressman, doon na uso yung sheet piling 2010 to 2016. Bago nun, walang sheet piling sa Taguig. Pero yung sheet piling na isa sa mga pinaka-corrupt ways of flood control, nangyari po to 2010 to 2013 or 2016. So let's get to the bottom of it. But let's follow the law. Yung state witness, malayo pa yon. So nung una ko nabalitaan, kailangan state witness, I disagreed with Senator Marcoleta and went up to him and said, Boss, baka magkaiba tayo ng opinion kung dapat si Diskaya. Pero tama nga siya, wala pa tayo doon, nasa protection pa lang . Hindi pa natin naririnig kung anong sasabihin nila. Ngayon, kung, hindi ko na itutuloy, pero yung initials na lang, kung BS ang sasabihin sa atin, bullshit sila. I-release mo sila ulit. Diba? Pero paano po kung willing sila magturo? Last point. Iba po ang discharge of the accused to state witness. I think it was JV Hinlo sa Facebook na nagsasabing, remember, hindi all or nothing to. Pag state witness ka, hindi ibig sabihin, totally discharged ka na. Pwedeng halimbawa, imbis na 5 habang buhay na pagkakulong, 1 habang buhay na pagkakulong ka na lang. Ngayon yung sinasabing kailangan isoli yung pera, I agree with that. 100% dapat may restitution. 100% dapat ibalik. Sa Biblia nga, doble pa dapat ibalik. Ito lang po ang tanong. Wala sa batas yun . Wala sa batas. That's a matter of public policy. So what does it mean? Patawag mo muna yung mga diskaya o anong willing nyong gusto sabihin. Okay. Makorroborate nyo ba? Ibig sabihin, meron bang resibo yan? So sinabi mo, eto binigyan ng 30%. Nasaan yan? Kasi hindi ko na po babanggitin ngayon, ha? Or babanggitin ko na po ngayon. Sa Taguig, may project po ang mga diskaya. Open bidding eh. Pero kung hindi ako magkakamali, sa Pasig, meron din pong project ang mga diskaya. Both kay Mayor Vico sa City Hall at both sa, And siya pa nga nagsabi nun, kung hindi ako nagkakamali ha, this is not an expose. I'm just telling you as a fact. And I'm looking at when tong mga project na to. So far, wala pa kami nakikitang ghost. So far, may nakikita kami. Maganda pagkagawa, okay or pangit, pero subcon daw. Hindi ko alam. Of course, malicious yung pagka-post. Malicious, mali na delicious. Malicious. Kaya pinagpepiestahan kasi pag sinabi 1 billion in 3 years, Taguig has 1% of the population of the Philippines. We have 1.3 million people, almost 1%. Taguig is one of the biggest income earners of the Philippines. So ang infra ng Taguig is between 7 to 9 billion. So sa 7 billion a year, in 3 years, 21 billion. Ang 1 billion mo, wala pang 4%. Ang Taguig used to be underwater for 3 months. Pag umulan ng December or November, hanggang January na yon. Awan ng Diyos, hindi masyadong bumabaha ngayon. Very minor. So what's my point? Imbestigahan niyo po kami. Huwag niyo pong i-exempt ang kahit anong city. Huwag niyo i-exempt si Alan Cayetano. Huwag niyo i-exempt ang congressman namin. Huwag niyo i-exempt yung kapatid ko na dating mayor. Huwag niyo i-exempt si Vico Soto. Huwag niyo i-exempt si Joel Villanueva. Lalong niyong huwag i-exempt si Jinggoy Estrada. Huwag niyo i-exempt ang mga congressman. Pero bakit? Sandali lang. Nagsalita ka diskaya, bawal ka na. Pero ikaw, Bryce, dahil senador binanggit mo, sige, sabihin mo lang kung saan mo gusto, doon ka na magstay. Hindi ata tama po iyon. No? So, ganun din ang hamon ko sa DPWH. Para kuman kapatid, yung bagong sekretary, hinahamon ko siya na saan na ang listahan ng lahat ng projects, ang lahat ng 15, para isang posting na lang tayo. Hindi yung parang nachismis ka na magse-Senate President ka, biglang may lalabas na listahan. O nachichismis si Lito, nakikipag-usap sa akin, baka may lumabas na listahan sa'yo. Pinag-uusapan namin yung paborito kong Maha Blanca ba tawag doon? Na dinadala niya, tibok-tibok pala, tibok-tibok. So Mr. President, I understand the stress. Bagong upo ang majority, the country is in turmoil in sense of finding an answer. But there are rules we have to follow. So, mahaba pa to pero witness protection program. Doon pa lang po sa protektahan. Marami siyang pera, may security. So kung napatay siya, we will never know. We will never know who the mastermind is because a simple sulat order na please protect them. Protect them, give them 48 hours. Pag hindi sila nagsabi kung sino. Pag sila nagsabi, pero BS ulit yung sinabi nila, di-discharge natin. Number 3, hindi po kami ang nag-request ng meron pong taga Office of Sergeant at Arms. Pinapaliwanag namin na sinabi na pag may nangyari sa kanila dito, pag dito sa Senate, yung perception na sumusunod tayo sa witness. Ang majority ang sumagot ng may legal at may actual or physical custody pero parating under OSAA yan at yung OSAA masusunod. Hinahanap ko yung transcript kung yeah. Okay, anyway, hinahanap ko kung nabanggit na meron taga OSAA doon. Pero nabanggit ko, I know, wag na tayo mag-ubos ng oras to look at the TSN. Ang concern namin, sinong magko-coach o kakausap sa kanya doon. Don't worry, mahigpit ang rules, di ba? Tapos nandun ang OSAA, wala nga yung OSAA doon eh. So yun ang point namin. Hindi po namin krinikriticize ang usahay, hindi namin nahanap. Pero napakabigat ng ano na to, ng mga allegations dito eh. So yung integrity ng witnesses, napaka-importante. Opinion, I agree with you, Mr. Senate President. Dapat hindi dapat hindi tinatamaan. Nabanggit nyo, devious, ibig sabihin, makademonyo, yung plot na magkakaroon ng bagong Senate President. Unang-una, ang nagbanggit na mag-ingat sa coup ay kasama nyo sa majority nung Thursday dito, hindi kami sa minority. Pangalawa, 2007 pa ako nandito sa Senado, wala pa akong nakitang minority dito na ayaw maging majority. Si Coco Pimentel, tuwan-tuwa sa magiging minority, pero gusto niya maging majority at gusto niya maging Senate President. Sa 24 sa atin dito, baka si Lito Lapid lang ang ayaw maging Senate President. Pero baka gusto mo rin. Baka gusto mo rin. Pwede rin. Pwede rin. Oh. So, 3 na lang kailangan natin, Supremo. 9 na kami, pang 10 ka, 3 na lang, 13, Supremo. Okay. What's my point, Mr. President? Hindi po kami ang nagsabing may plot. Alam niyo po kung nabasa ko to sa Facebook, napakaganda. Sabi niya, what is the difference between stupidity and intelligence? Sabi niya, ang intelligence may hangganan. Tama nga naman, wala naman hangganan ng stupidity, di ba? So tanong ko sa inyo, mga kasama ko, sa minority man majority, sinong tanga na magkuku tapos i-announce tapos ilalagay sa Facebook na may numero na sila? Di ba? Wala naman magkuku tapos i-announce tapos sasabihin na meron. Siyempre lahat tayo may supporter, kinikilig yun. O ilabas natin bukas na si JB Ejercito ang magiging Senate President, kikiligin po ang mga supporter ni JB Ejercito. Ilagay po natin na si Jinggoy Estrada, kikiligin supporter niya, magagalit naman yung galit sa kanya. So, we respect the majority and your prerogatives, Mr. President, di ba? Wala akong kinausap na senador over the weekend. In fact, nahiya ako sa minority because ang paalam ko sa kanila, minority leader. Di ba? But I can tell you straight in everyone's faces with all humility, dahil alam nyo to, you offered me the Senate presidency in 2016. Pero ang kasama doon ay magiging Secretary ay Justice Committee si Leila de Lima na alam kong ang tanging pakay ay tanggalin si Duterte plus other committees that I did not agree with. That was the cost. Hindi ko kayang bayaran yung cost na yon. Hindi ko kayang bayaran yung cost na yon. So, I lost it. Napunta kay Coco Pimentel and it was good for the country. Panay Mindanao. But yun yung cost. Oh, it was offered to me again last month. But sabi ko, hindi ko kayang saksakin sa likod. Kahit sa harap, hindi ko kayang saksakin si Cheese Escudero. So humanap ng ibang kandidato. And I think, at this time, Senator Soto has a role to play. And he is Senate President. Di ba? So if and when it is offered to me, it will be in terms that I can pay the cost. Kasi lahat yan may cost eh. Eh, ang hirap maging independent po ngayon. Bawat galaw natin, ituloy natin yung hearing, may galit kasi may independent commission na. Huwag natin ituloy ang hearing, parang may pinagtatakpan tayo. That's why I'm glad that the Senator Lacson said, tuloy yung hearing. Let's focus, may mastermind dito. Yung mastermind ang kailangan mabunyag. Bakit? Kasi kung hindi uulitin. Pangalawa po, may kultura, naging madali sa mastermind kasi kultura nating corruption. Sa maraming paraan. So, Mr. President, I beg to disagree that hindi nasunod ang rules. But we're starting out. And our plate is full. Sa minority, we have a nation-building agenda. We plan to participate sa budget hearing. Sinabi, wala ng flood control funds. Some want it sa feeding program. Some want it sa education. Some want it in different programs. So we'll all be busy here, but we have to establish. So what do we do now? I do not know the pleasure of Senator Jinggoy or or the pleasure of the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee kung siya hold. But as of now, hindi natin nire-reverse ang plenary sa Pasay City Jail. If you ask me to vote, ako gusto ko dito. Kasi hindi naman penalty ang contempt in the sense na gano'n, no? But Mr. President, hindi naman pwedeng magbobotohan tayo dito sa plenary tapos i-reverse ng kung sino man.
May I? Yeah, with the, maybe recognized.
Yeah, Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just on the technicalities of the rules, let me just state for the fact na yan po yung original request ni Senator Marcoleta. There was a letter given to the Senate President at that time that Bryce Hernandez be remanded back to the Senate. So for clarity lang po yan. And then we had a debate after the Senate President tried to look for a win-win solution after the witness had asked, going back to what I said earlier, that did not be brought back to the Senate. When the new Senate Blue Ribbon Chair was elected, which is the gentleman on the podium today, Senator Panfilo Lacson, he conferred with the Senate President. Nilalagay ko lang po yung proper context, no? Kinausap niya yung Senate President na ibalik na lang po sa Senado. So, wala po talaga tayong bina-violate na rule niyan. Although, I think to keep this long story short, Mr. President, naawa kasi ako kay Senator Erwin Tulfo. Kanina pa naghihintay ng 3:30. Yan ang pangako ko sa kanya na magbigay siya ng privileged motion and privileged speech. Para, lamang po, para siguro ma-rectify itong problemang ito. May we ask the gentleman, are you objecting to the recommitment of the witness to the Senate? Because if so, then I'll make the proper motion and we will sustain the decision of the Senate President. And that's it. Because if there's an objection, Mr. President, I clearly remember my compadre, Senator Bato de la Rosa, giving a very passionate speech that here in the Senate, protektado sila dito. Hindi kami katulad ng House na binabadger yung witness. I believe him. And I believe the Sergeant at Arms was appointed by the predecessor of Senator Soto, our Sergeant at Arms, can be trusted, Mr. President. So if that is the case, to end this discussion, let's just have a debate in plenary. Or debate, rather, I will move for a motion and let us decide with finality where will the witness be remanded, Mr. President. Because as far as I'm concerned, I will sustain the decision of the Senate President to bring him back here to the Senate. That is what everybody wanted last week, including the minority. So, Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Mr. President, I will yield.
For a while.
Sorry.
Who will yield?
Yeah.
Okay, I will yield, Your Honor.
Okay, the minority leader is recognized.
Sorry, Mr. Presiding Officer, to make it hard. I will yield to Senator Joel to answer that. But the commitment I want is we follow the rules. So next time, pag nagbotohan tayo dito, hindi pa pwedeng may post-action tayo to unless it's an emergency. Nilipat na eh.
I just answered that. Mr. President, as far as, Mr. President, may I be recognized? As far
With the permission of the minority leader,
Yes.
the deputy minority leader.
Yes, Mr. President.
I wish to speak, Mr. President, if I may, because it is related to what the minority leader
But, Mr. President,
mentioned, and I'm sure the minority leader will be able
Session
to...
suspended.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, we recognize the former Majority Floor Leader, now the Deputy Minority Floor Leader, Senator Joel Villanueva.
Senator Joel Villanueva is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you to our Majority Leader. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I have been listening attentively to the statements, comments, ideas, arguments being raised in this August chamber. But I think the very first question that was raised when we opened the session is when Senator Bato de la Rosa asked as to whether or not plenary action can be superseded, Mr. President, by any action of the committee or even the Senate President. Mr. President, let me put on record my disagreement, Mr. President, with the decision that was made when Senator Jinggoy Estrada made a motion here in this August chamber, which was carried upon by the members of the Senate. So it was no longer just Senator Jinggoy or the members of the minority. It is the entire Senate who made that decision. And we wanted to put on record, Mr. President, why we supported that motion of Senator Jinggoy Estrada. Mr. President, last Tuesday, when this guy, the assistant district engineer from DPWH, mentioned the name of this representation and that of Senator Jinggoy, he immediately stated that he is scared of the Senate. He is scared of the Senate because he mentioned two senators. And during that time, Mr. President, Senator Tito Soto is already the Senate President. And then afterwards, a lot of congresspersons would say that he is safer in the House of Representatives. And then the lawyers of this fellow would mention na ngayon, all of a sudden, safe na siya dito sa Senado. It puts a bad taste in the mouth, Mr. President, na para po bang may mangyayari sa kanya pag nandito siya sa Senado. And that's why, again, when Senator Jinggoy made that motion, we all supported him. And not just the members of the minority, but the entire members of the Senate. And so, Mr. President, even if the majority right now, including some members of the minority, would support the idea of bringing him here in the Senate premises, Senate custody, I will have no objection, Mr. President. But as a former majority leader, I tried to look at the rules, Mr. President. I have not seen a single line in the Senate rules that says the plenary action ay po pwede pong masupersede ng anumang suggestion ng committee o ng mga abogado po natin sa Senado. But again, Mr. President, let me put on record, I will submit with the wisdom of the majority. If that is the desire of the majority, na ibalik po siya dito, yes, I have no problems with that, Mr. President. It's just that I appeal to my colleagues here. Dear colleagues, kung kayo ho dito ang isa sa mga pinangalanan, kahit wala hong ebidensya, kung kayo po dito ang ginawan ng, sabi nga ni Senator Cayetano, hindi screenshot picture ng isang telepono. Kayo ho yung gawan ng ganun. Kayo ho yung gawan na sabihin, idinala sa bahay nyo yung pera. Doon po sa simbahan ng JIL Church. Mr. President, hindi ko ho alam kung anong mararamdaman nyo kung nasa sapatos ko po kayo. Kahit ho si Satanas, hindi papayag dun sa script niya. Tatanggap ka ng suhol sa simbahan. Tapos, kung ano yung sabihin niya, yun ang masusunod. Doon ako sa PNP custodial. Doon ako sa Senado ngayon, nagbago na isip ko, and then susunod do tayo. Mahirap hulunukin yon, Mr. President. Dear colleagues, sana hindi nyo maranasan itong ginawa sa amin. Lahat ng katotohanan, pumupunta sa atin. Yung sinasabing CA member ako, 2023 of October, 2024 po ako naging CA. Ang dami nyo rito, kalahati po dito CA nun. 2023, sabi, kino-confirm si Secretary Bunuan. 2022, confirmed si Secretary Bunuan. Paulit-ulit po ako dito, wala akong flood control, walang maiturong flood control. And yet, ito, paniniwalaan. Nasa news, nasa lahat po. Dito sa atin, binanggit yung mga kongresista, pero wala, parang falling to deaf ears, Mr. President. Again, Mr. President, hindi ko kailangan na may sumuporta sa akin dito sa Senado. Kahit isa po dito sa Senado, I appreciate yung mga naniniwala. Kung hindi kayo naniniwala, it's not my problem. Ang alam ko lang, Mr. President, mahirap na ikaw paparatangan tapos sa mismong sarili mong bahay, hindi ka maproteksyonan. Sa mismong sarili mong bahay, pinagdududahan ka o hindi ka man lang mapakinggan, Mr. President. At parang ang nagiging dating ngayon, kung ano ang gusto ni Bryce, nitong assistant district engineer, siya po yung masusunod. So yun lang Mr. President. Akin po, kung ibabalik po siya dito, let the plenary decide. And let's continue to abide by our rules. Marami pong salamat, Ginoong Pangulo.
Senator Jingo Estrada, Mr. President, would like to be recognized.
Senator Jingo Estrada is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, this morning I received a report that Mr. Bryce Hernandez was transferred here from the Pasay City Jail. And it came to as a big surprise to this representation, since we approved that Bryce Hernandez be committed to the Pasay City Jail. We approved it in plenary. Mr. President, last Tuesday, when he appeared before the TRICOM at the House Committee, at the House of Representatives, the opening statement, if my memory serves me right, of Mr. Bryce Hernandez is that, pwede ba dito na lang ako makulong? Ayoko pong bumalik sa Senado dahil merong mga senador na involved dito sa flood control. And much to my surprise, he mentioned this representation together with Senator Joel Villanueva. After his testimony, full of lies, according to the Senate President, he talked with the Speaker of the House, and they reached an agreement that he be committed at the PNP Custodial Center. But when I discovered that when he was at the PNP Custodial Center, not one OSA member was guarding him there. Ni isa sa mga OSA na dapat meron tayong physical custody of that person. Wala nang pakialam ang pulis dyan eh. Tayo na ang may physical custody. Pero nasaan? Nasaan ang nagagwardya sa kanya doon? Eh kung biglang tumakas yun, biglang pinatakas ng pulis yun, paano na? So after that, nagdesisyon po tayo here, plenary, that we commit him at the Pasay City Jail. And everybody approved of it. When I made my motion, sinigundahan ni Majority Leader Senator Mig Zubiri, and no one objected. At ang sabi dito, I got hold of this letter from the lawyer of Mr. Bryce Hernandez. Third to the last paragraph. We appeal for this because today there is renewed faith. Ito, September 15, today. Under your leadership, Senate President Soto, and with Chairman Lacson's stewardship of the Blue Ribbon Committee, there is assurance that the Senate will stand not only as a body of discipline, but as an exemplar of fairness. Mr. President, noong Tuesday, sabi ni Bryce Hernandez, ayaw niya rito. Kayo na po ang Senate President noon. Bakit ngayon sasabihin itong abogado niya, there is renewed faith? Bakit nung sinabi ni Bryce Hernandez, Senate President po kayo, wala ba siyang faith sa inyo noon nung nagsalita siya? Noong Tuesday, na ayaw niya bumalik dito sa Senado? Bakit ngayon niya lang sasabihin na meron siyang renewed faith? Bakit lagi natin sinusunod ko ano gustong kapritsyo ni Bryce Hernandez? Gusto niya malipat sa ano? Ayaw niya rito, nilipat niyo sa custodial. Nung nilipat natin sa Pasay, gusto niya naman ngayon malipat dito. Ano ba talaga? Why are we giving so much importance or credence to this person who is a liar, who is the #1 suspect of this corruption, what is happening in our country today. Bakit? Bakit? Meron ba nagproprotection sa House of Representatives? Bakit nung nag-hearing ang Blue Ribbon Committee po, nung si Congressman Marcoleta pang chairman ng Blue Ribbon, nagbanggit si Diskaya, ilang congressman ang involved sa corruption. Pagdating nung kinabukasan, hindi na front page, hindi masyadong pinag-usapan. Nung si Bryce Hernandez na, nagbanggit ng 2 senador, front page na kaagad kami. Kahit hindi totoo yung sinasabi niya, na walang basihan. 30% commission daw. Ang putang ina. I'm sorry. Strike out from the record.
Which part?
I'm sorry.
The phrase is stricken off the record.
How can I demand 30%? What is his basis, Mr. President? Pagkatapos niyan, wala na, kumalat na. Front page na sa lahat ng mga newspaper of general circulation. Lahat na. Masama na kami ni Joel Villanueva. Sa social media, everything, lahat. I've been there. Kaya pinag-iingatan ko pangalan ko. Why should I do such a thing, Mr. President? Why? I will never do such thing, Mr. President. Porket ba I'm actively participating in the Blue Ribbon Committee? Porket ba matapang ako magtanong? Ako na kaagad ang target nila? Bakit? I'm just doing my job as your senator. I have an oath to defend. I want to get all the bad crooks here in the government. That is my duty as your senator, Mr. President. Mr. President, sobra-sobra na. Lahat po kami apektado na. Even the Senate as an institution is also affected by the testimony of one habitual liar. Bakit paniniwalaan natin siya? Bakit yung mga yung sinigaw ng mga congressman? Bakit? Bakit hindi natin imbestigahan? Bakit yung mga senador hindi imbestigahan? Ako, I'm open to any investigation. In fact, Mr. President, ngayon pa lang, kahit hindi pa nagko-comment sa Blue Ribbon Committee ni Senator Lacson, ngayon pa lang, I'm willing to sign any waiver to open my bank accounts. And that I'll put that on record. I don't know with Senator Joel. Maybe he will also conform with my idea. So, Mr. President, wag namang ganun. Bakit panay senador lang ang gusto nilang ipako sa krus? Bakit yung mga ibang mga politiko? Dahil, porket masikat kami? Hindi naman yata tama yun. Pare-pareho lang tayo nasa gobyerno. Pare-pareho lang tayo naninilbihan dito. Yun lang po, Ginoong Pangulo. Maraming salamat po.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, we thank our distinguished gentlemen for their manifestations. And during the break, I believe we have reached a consensus. Mukhang hindi naman po siguro tayo mag-away na yun. No need for a vote with the Minority Leader and the group. I believe that better coordination na lang po. And we agreed to coordinate better with the Minority Floor Leader in these certain issues. Mr. President, you agreed. The Senate President agreed. So with that, yes, Mr. President, may recognize the Minority Floor Leader.
Minority Leader.
Yeah, Mr. President, and may also manifest. And extraordinary lang po na pinagbutuan natin yan sa plenary. So I just want to express that we want to support our chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee, Senator Lacson. So after this, it will be the committee and the chairman in coordination with the Senate President. Diba? Hindi man kailangan parating pagbutuan dito. May mga extraordinary circumstance lang na nangyari. So we want to normalize not only the consultation, but the following of our rules. And we look forward to working with Senator Lacson and, of course, the Senate President.
So we thank the good Minority Floor Leader for that, Mr. President. So we don't need to make another motion, Mr. President. Therefore, the decision to bring Bryce Hernandez here to the Senate is sustained, Mr. President. And let's move forward, Mr. President. With the permission of the body, and I believe the request of Senator Erwin Tulfo is that it should be recognized tomorrow na lang po. Anyway, it's a bit late. Kawawa naman ng ating kaibigan. Pero sabi po namin, siya ang unang i-recognize bukas. And before we do that, we'd just like to elect the chairpersons of the committees from the minority, Mr. President, so that they can already do their work as well as committee chair.